Hey, Craig, let's get into some coffee talk.
Hey, I love it. I love doing some coffee talk.
Well, talk about what?
Dogs, daughters, whatever. It's coffee talk.
Coffee talk. It's a coffee talk.
If you're just listening along at home, you would have not seen the wonderful faces we were making.
We made some good ones. It's
Probably
not
would have gotten
only
in
a
trouble
coffee talk.
if we were on a school bus or something for making faces
Right.
like that. You boys
Or
stop
taking
that back
pictures
there.
with your wife.
Oh, yeah. Or singing at church in front of all the parents.
True.
I got in trouble.
True.
I got in trouble for that a couple times. Talking during the performance.
Did you?
Well, there were really good ideas coming up. I mean,
We're just joshing here on Jason's Junction.
ooh, makes me really jolly.
Jumping Jolly Jason's Jurisdiction Junction.
Can you
jabbering.
juxtapose some great ideas?
I got something for you.
Oh,
I got
what do you
something
got?
for ya.
What do you got?
Well, one thing that I find hard to do is, and I guess I don't do it enough. I would even go as far to be vulnerable and say I don't do it enough at home with my wife, with my kids, with my family, or anything. But I don't take enough time to celebrate the victories. You know how important that is to really celebrate the wins? It always seems like, let's go back to the agency. When you get that win, it's like, okay, it's like you're climbing, right? It's just another part on the rock that you climb there, and now it's time to put the other hand up on the higher rock. And it's just a lot of the times you don't take the time to celebrate the wins, and celebrating the wins is like the gasoline, right? That's the gas that makes you go.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine with our staff and stuff, when we don't celebrate the wins, how that feels. That's got to feel like crap. Like I just achieved what they've been asking me to, and then they just want more. It's very
Mr.
demotivating.
Jason, this is a phenomenal topic. Thank you so much for bringing it.
Thank you for saying thank you, Mr. Craig.
Uh-huh.
I love the way you celebrate things.
Thank you. Thank you. In fact,
I feel that I won.
you deserve that.
Just to
You're
let
right.
everybody know, for 2021, we upgraded some sound bites. So we splurged and bought some clapping and some horns.
Yeah.
2021. Ooh.
Ring in the new year. That's a month old. How has it gone by? I mean, it is nuts. So at what point do you celebrate, or is there a point where you're over celebrating?
I mean, I wouldn't rest. Here's another phrase.
Rest your laurels?
Greg, you gotta look it up. Is this what we're gonna do every day now?
I think we should look up one thing. Rest.
Resting on
Is it-
your laurels.
Is it resting on your laurels?
I don't know. I don't know what a laurel is. Is it in person?
No, that would be weird.
That would, especially.
Do you want to know?
If you didn't
Well, here's the definition as defined by the internet. To rest your laurels, and that's in quotes, means
Okay.
you get lazy or complacent about what you could achieve because you're too busy basking in the memories of former glories.
Dude, I used it like 100%. Can you believe that?
Rest on your laurels to feel comfortable
Wow.
because you've been successful. Yeah, I mean, I think that we do rest on our laurels a bit, right? Like you may have a 18K day or 20K day, or in your case, it's these 24K days, whatever. You have a huge day. They're all the same. But you have the big day, and then you go in, you're like, hey, everybody, great job. And you bring them we have a thing called EGs here. It's like they have these slushies and sandwiches and stuff. I'll bring them a tub of EGs and go, good job, guys. And then you're like, well, I did that a couple of weeks ago, so they're good, But I think that they would probably like it if it happened more frequently.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the empathizing there.
Well, thank you. I
You're
like the
welcome.
topic. Yeah. What else? What are some ways
But
that you can celebrate those victories?
well, here's something funny. So we talk about, like I have a hard time celebrating them. And then sometimes some people over celebrate them. And it's really and maybe that I've done that in the past too. It's hard to find a middle ground, especially for somebody like me. I definitely have an addictive personality.
Mhm.
So it's hard for me to find always in life the
Yeah.
middle ground.
That's the worst. The
Um,
middle ground is boring.
It is. I start swerving. I swerve all over the road.
You're like, well, we're going straight here. I mean, what if we just just a couple things?
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Find that
Resting
middle
on your
ground.
laurels.
Well, I guess so. Then, okay. I think a lot of business owners are similar. I mean, you have to be a little nuts to be able to keep driving and driving and driving and going and just doing it, right? To
Yes.
find those wins, especially when it
Yes,
becomes
I am
harder and
nuts.
harder to find those wins. And
Sure.
we may talk about that, spoiler alert, when we're talking red ocean, blue ocean. But
Ooh, coming up.
But I think, and I'm going to go out here on a limb, out on a limb, and say, maybe we'll look that one up for next time. But I'm going to say that it would be better to over celebrate than to under celebrate.
Yeah. I mean, at least for the mind. Yeah, definitely.
Sure. So if the nadel's in the middle, you're going to
Natal,
move that
okay.
natal towards over celebration as opposed to
Okay.
under celebration, right? It's sort of like, when you're in those, wherever, I don't know, you're at a restaurant or you're at a hotel. You're like, am I supposed to tip or should I have tipped more? Like if you're thinking that, you probably should have.
Right? Yeah. Because if you overtip, you don't say, did I tip enough? You know what I mean?
You're like,
it's when you're teetering on
I
that.
freaking tipped. I mean,
Yeah.
I threw down $40 on 100. They're fine. Right. But
Look at you.
no, that
baller.
was just an example. That's
You're a
atypical.
baller, dude.
Atypical.
You
Atypical. May have thrown $40 on 100 when I visited Brandon when he was still working at the bar.
Okay.
But he also knocked like $40 off the bill too. So then I felt like, well, he knocked 40 off and I'm only tipping 40, but he gave a free 40. Am I supposed to? Yeah, that gets confusing too.
Yeah. Yeah, you should have tipped more.
I probably did. I don't know. Yeah, what do you do in that situation? I think this is important life lesson. So, and we both have worked in the restaurant business, but for me, it's been a lot, like over 20 years. But
Right.
so you go to the place, they comp
Okay.
you. It's $100 check. They comp you 40, right?
Okay.
So you should definitely tip as if you paid 100, right? So you should tip that 20 now, or 20 or 25. Do you tip more than that because of the freebie that you got, or is that good?
I would probably say it's good. If it's a good amount and it's more than the 20%, then you are good
20% of the original total.
of the original total. Yeah.
Okay.
At least whichever's greater. But you could always go above and beyond because if you had the original total plus the 20%, you could always put in that number if you're feeling super.
Then what's the point in saving the money? You got to feel like
Well,
you got a
it's-
little bit of a win.
Yeah, because you won by making someone's day.
Oh, look
better.
at you. Look at you.
Because you're in a position that you're able to do that
Yeah.
and they're not.
Okay.
I don't know.
Follow-up
That's one
tip
way to-
question. Follow-up tip question.
Okay.
And I mean, these are real life lessons that people can apply. So I think it's important.
Yeah. It's just the tip.
Now that we have, I'm going to skip past that. Now that we have the core vids and there's a lot of eating out, right? You go and you pick up to go a lot. At least
I
if
don't
you're-
I don't even do that.
Well, you have
It's
it delivered.
DoorDash
Right.
all day long.
So, okay, that's easy because it just, you just tip whatever. You just pick one of those numbers down there. But let's say you actually do go, right? So you go. They don't deliver it. And this is where I struggle is, okay, the DoorDash guy came, I tipped him 20% because they they drove here, right? And they're not making anything. It sucks. What happened? Jason's lost his audio, but we're navigating here through okay, he's back on. So you go to the place, or you order whatever, a few sandwiches, go down there. It's $20. And you drove. Okay. So you drove and you're picking it up to go. They hand you
sandwiches for $20,
$30 and 37.63.
Okay.
And you give the card, they hand you back the thing, no contact. Okay. They hand you the receipt and it says tip in there. Now what? I mean, 20% is, in my opinion, is excessive because you just did all the work. Where's the service?
Here's the thing. And this is a great example for your agency. If my experience was I walked in, hey, oh my gosh, here's your order. This is so awesome. So glad you did it. I would definitely tip 100%. Now,
you would tip 100%?
No, I would 100% leave a tip of unknown dollar amount.
What, 10%, 15%, 20%?
I don't know. Maybe 20. But here's the point. The point is that
I just want the tip here.
Yeah, is that the state. So it depends what state they put me in. If I walk in and takes a while, like no one really acknowledges me, here's your order, boom, just like get out of here kind of vibe, they're probably not going to get a tip.
So you leave put the line, or do you just sign it and act like you didn't see it?
I just sign it. Didn't see it.
Then they write in the tip.
At that point, I saved them time. You know what I mean? Like they didn't have to prepare the table. Like, I just walk in, walk out. Sure. But if they did go above and beyond, then I would tip.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's in our agencies, think about that. Like if somebody is calling in for your agency or any experience, email, text, or anything, and they get dude, what about a text? You know what I mean? Like, hey, thanks so much. Fun face emojis or whatever.
Fun face.
If you can put somebody in a good state, wow. All they think about is that about your agency. Like, yeah, they're good people over there. I like that place, Yeah.
And think of the series of events that happened after that throughout their day because you just pushed them off into this positive trajectory. You could have saved their life.
Yep.
I mean, if it was a bad experience, they're all bleh, and then they're driving along and somebody cuts them off and they flip them off and it's a crazy person. They, end up shooting them, and all because they were in a bad mood.
Right.
So you basically saved their life.
But it's incredible how much you can make a difference because no other businesses are doing that. Almost because of the virus and everything. Everybody doesn't go out as much anymore. People are more withdrawn. Things are becoming way more transactional.
Yeah.
Don't be the light in the world.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, that's a huge, huge point. As we become a transactional society now, which is so interesting, right? It went from you can't be transactional. You need to be relationship based. And now because of the situation, it's a great excuse to go back to being transactional. Right.
Right.
And how much of a huge opportunity that is to differentiate now, because everybody was trying to be relationship based. Now everybody's, lots to complain about, blah, blah, blah. Differentiate, give them that elevated level of service. We were talking to Jay, give him that concierge service.
Yeah.
And it comes back tenfold.
Tenfold.
Right? They'll send their people. They'll be, somebody's complaining about their insurance and this and that. And I went into my agency and they were freaking awesome. Right. Or we did a review and it was on Zoom and wow, like they were so bubbly. They really took care of me. They found this discount, whatever. Right. Like just go above and beyond.
And I would say to tie it into the original subject of celebrating your victories, I think it all starts there, because if you celebrate the victories in your agency, everybody's like happy. We're like, yes, yes. We have that good coaching vibe, that celebratory vibe, and then we pass that along to people. I mean, that's getting them in that state as well. So it does come full circle.
That's funny, Mr. Jason. We do it on the Elite Dudes call, right? Celebrate the wins. Let's talk about some wins. Let's talk about some wins this week. And somebody will say, I got, whatever, this many transfers. We sold this much. So it's pretty cool. And it works.
Extremely. It does.
It does.
That's a coffee talk. Text us.
Text us at 520-214-2219.
And Mr. Craig will send you a crazy, funny face picture.
Or an emoji.
Or an emoji of what he is making on his face.
We should make GIFs. Let's make a bunch of Insurance Dude GIFs and just...
Done.
How do you get them on the interwebs? Where if somebody pushes the button, there's got to be a way. Let's figure it out.
Ask Google. Yeah, Google knows.
Ooh. Google does know.
There's a tip of the day. Google knows. If you're asking people, Google knows.
Yeah.
There's no way Mr. Craig or Mr. Jason is as smart as Google. Don't ask us. Google it.
Google it. Hey, how do I change my tire? Really?
Googler.
All right.
Become a good Googler.
Become a good Googler. See ya. Bye.
Hey, Jason.
Yes, Mr. Craig.
That was another awesome episode, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if people want to get a little bit more action and learn how to write 100,000 in premium off of even the worst internet leads, where could they go?
They can go to live.teledudes.com.
Ooh, that sounds exciting. Are we going to be there?
Yes. It's a weekly call that we're doing right now it's live, and it will show you the process. The entire process is super awesome.
I love it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Sign up right now, live.teledudes.com.
Live.teledudes.com. That's live.teledudes.com.
Hey, Craig, there's a new community that we are starting that I cannot wait to tell everybody about. It is our live texting community where you and I are going to answer people's questions and give them free content, right?
Are you kidding me? We get to talk to them?
Yeah, which is awesome, but they have to opt in. They have to text us at 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
Nice.
Craig, are you going to respond to these texts?
I'm going to respond to them for sure. Live.
I'm into it too. It's going to be awesome. And it's going to be our new texting community where we're going to get back to everybody that we can and drop some crazy content, free content, and free the calculator that you just came up with. That's right. The calling calculator, sales material. I mean, everything for insurance agents. This is it. It's the best texting community out there for insurance agents.
Well, what the heck is that number again? I can't remember it.
It's 520-214-2219. That's 520-214-2219.
I love it. I'm going to text it right now.
520-214-2219.
All right. I'll see you later, Mr. Jason.
Bye, Mr. Craig.
Wait, do they even listen to this on the radio anymore?
I love it.
Nice.